today I really wanted to invite everyone who was, peeling their eyes and keeping their eyes peeled on the lookout for this whole alignment, vibration raising alignment club. I couldn't quite come up with the name of the club, and I finally decided on the alignment club. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is because I am seeing so many people working so hard on where they want to go, what they want to achieve, and they are forgetting the number one thing that everyone who is out there, who's the most recognized, is teaching, and they just don't seem to kind of shift that. They seem to wave over this very, very quickly and not go back to it enough so that the foundation is solid. Because when you have a solid foundation, what you're building on it, it's like a house, right? If you have a very solid foundation, it's a few feet deep, and it's really tough. It's not made of some kind of flimsy material, but it's really, really sturdy. Then you can build a first floor on it, and it's going to be so good. And then if any hurricane comes, if any kind of event happens that is unpleasant, it will not matter, because what happens is the foundation is so sturdy, you're just flying off. And I feel like what's happening is that first step, that foundation, is often skipped. And unfortunately, because of that, many people build on top of it, and then they end up building empires, but the empires fall just like this when the wind comes from the wrong direction for them. So this is really a short session to kind of introduce to you the Alignment Club, and also why are we even talking about this, what this will contain, what I feel is the secret sauce to living happy, healthy, and wealthy. And and a very, very kind of short intro to it. So why happy, healthy, and wealthy? Now, if you imagine that house that we were talking about, the pillars that are then creating the foundation are the three pillars of happy, healthy, and wealthy. Now, happiness has just so much to it, so many components, right? So it's not just being happy, like smiling. It's actually about feeling that inner happiness. It also means that you can tell someone to F off, but still be happy and internally balanced, if you know what I mean, because you're aligned with yourself, right? It means that you're living and feeling great no matter what happens. It's like you're this big oak tree that doesn't fall with any small wind. Healthy isn't just the body. Healthy is so much more, right? It's the mind, it's the emotions, it's the healthy relationships. It's so much to it. So when we're talking about health, we are really talking about enforcing that oak tree. And wealth often is associated with like money wealth. And to me, wealth has so many more components. So yes, of course, you want to have the money to be able to do stuff, to share the money, to be able to do more with it. And also money flows through you so that you can do more with it. That's why it's here. And wealth is that feeling of, oh, wow, I'm abundant. I have everything I need and I get to share. And what I give comes back to me. It's a perpetuum mobile. It kind of, one gives back to the other. And so there are really two components to this life, and that's the secret sauce. And so what I want to talk through is some of the stuff that we often see and hear in life, and the stuff that we get stuck on, and then what we can do to overcome that, and what we can do to keep in that vibration. So there are some truths that I've written out here. Truths. It's hard for me to pronounce it. So everything we desire is already available to us, because I don't know how many of you heard, but the mind that created the problem also contains the solution. Now, Albert Einstein and a few other people have said similar things. So it's basically a generalized way of describing it. But what happens is, whatever we want, whether we have a problem and we want the solution, whether we want the thing that we want and we want the outcome of it in our reality, whatever it is, whatever comes to us is already here. It's just on a different level of vibration. So if we align ourselves with it, it's immediate, it's instant, right? It's like going on a lift to another floor. we're on floor 1 and we need to be on floor 10. Now, how do we get there? The vibration alignment is that lift, right? It's that elevator. And everything that comes from the right energy is guaranteed to materialize. So if we want things from fear, from shame, from worry, it's not going to come. If we want it from the feeling of absolute abundance, something that wants to come through us, whether it's the health, whether it's the beautiful relationship, whether it's the money, whether it's, great relationship with kids, whatever it is, when we're doing this from the right energy, it's always going to materialize. So the thing is always and knock-on effect of the emotion that happens to create that thing we want. And so really, again, when we align with the emotion, then the thing comes very quickly. And the hard work that people call hard work, I often hear people going, oh, I had to work so many hours. It's not that. That's not the hard work. The hard work is you aligning, because once you align, it's like you're taking the fast lane, right? You're at the airport. You're not standing there in the line with everyone else. You're taking the fast route. You're doing the VIP route. And so that's really what's required. It's what's needed. So the next thing, the reason what we want is not always there in the material world is because it is on a different frequency to us. So that's kind of what I've just described. And we don't align instantaneously because of global beliefs and paradigms that are subconscious. Now, what are those? Those might be things to do with us, things to do with our family, our society, our community. It's like it happens to those, but not me. I have a tendency to put on weight. My family, we've never had money. These people in this town have always had drinking problems. There's never a way to really bring up kids. There's always going to be a problem. All of these things are possibly subconscious beliefs, but we just say them. And until we go, oh, yeah, that's it. And we start noticing those, we just go about building those blocks and those houses on those shaky foundations because we have those subconscious blocks. So mastering focus, so focusing, I'm seeing something that isn't aligned with me and I'm knocking it out because I'm focusing on something else. So I'm going this way now. That equals mastering life. And that does not equal controlling the outcome. That means that we can never control the outcome. We can only say, okay, this is our desire. It came to our mind. It came to our reality because we just had this moment when our thoughts were pure, that this is what we have already achieved somewhere. And so the moment we start controlling the outcome is the moment when fear creeps in. Fear creeps in when we think this is never going to happen. Maybe I'm not going to get this, but less. Maybe I'm going to lose something if I do this. And so that's when we start trying to control the outcome instead of thinking, okay, if it's not happening this way, maybe it's because something better is coming and a better way of achieving this outcome is there. Now, am I enjoying the journey to the goal or am I just trying to quickly hold on to it? Because remember, 97% of the time you spend on a goal is the journey towards the goal, not the goal itself, not achieving and celebrating it, right? So why don't you just have fun doing it? So the other thing is that knowing yourself, so feeling, thinking, and doing in alignment equals the Holy Grail. Now, when you know that you must rest and your productivity comes from total alignment, or that you must get moving in order to actually activate some of the highest frequencies in you, or that you must be around other people, or that you must be quiet and by yourself. All of these things, knowing those and actually being in alignment, so like in accordance, acting from those, is what you need. So if I know that my best place to create from is an environment where everything's quiet and peaceful and I'm by myself and I'm locked in and whatever, then that's where I'm going to go. Now, if I know that my place is being surrounded by people, being out in the open, like a co-working space or something, or in the middle of a busy cafe, that's where I'm going to go. And if I know that that's me and if I trust it, I'm not going to go and do something else because someone else told me. So I'm going to go because I'm feeling this is in alignment with me. And then the final thing is that everything comes to you from the source, right? So the health, the relationships, the money, the time, the everything that we want comes from the source. Now, you can insert your word, whether it's God, the universe, your higher self, in whatever way you want to call it. What I'm saying is there is a source which is infinite. You know the source. It just doesn't end, right? So whatever you want doesn't come from others. It's not like, oh, other people will give me this or they will help me. It comes from the source, but it comes through others. So maybe you find that health coach who helps you, but that's because your mind aligned with the identity of you that says, I am the most healthy, vibrating, radiant person out there. That's how I see myself. That's the truth I'm living in. And every part of me is aligning constantly to a higher and higher and higher vibration, because what I want now is going to be upgraded, because I'm never just wanting the same thing. The minute you set a goal, that goal starts shifting and shifting and shifting. It's never the same. I guarantee you that. And so then that person appears, right? The money that you might want for something, it doesn't come from you selling something to someone. It comes from your energy aligned in a way that calls that in. It might be that a relative that you didn't know existed suddenly says, oh, I have this gift for you that I've had for years and I kept forgetting to send it. Or, you know, someone who forgot to pay your bill comes in and pays it. Or you get a refund or something. It might be that you sell something, but maybe not. So these are the truths. And Alignment Club is all about aligning with those, right? So it's not about like, oh, I'm going to shout up and jump up and down. I'm going to do what I feel aligned with. If I feel like right now, the best time is for me to just lie down and stretch and maybe watch a light comedy, that's what I'm going to do. Because guess what? From that moment, because I'm not tense, because I don't feel like I should do something else, I will get up and I will something will download in me that will tell me what the next step is. So it's not about not planning. It's not about stopping things. It's not about completely waiting for things to just fall on your lap. It's about aligning in a way so that you are taking action, but it's aligned. It feels like it's flawless. So what does all of this mean? Well, to summarize it, vibration matters. Wherever you are, it matters how you're vibrating. The feeling is the key. It's not what you tell yourself, it's the feeling. Do you feel resistance? Do you feel something tense in your stomach? Or do you feel aligned and flowing with it? Because that's the key. That's what you want. You want the feeling to be amazing. And more on that later. The point of least resistance is where everything happens, where all the magic happens. And I will tell you more about that in a minute. I'm going to show you a scale of vibration first. But before that, it's not about waiting for things to happen. It's about aligning. And as I said, taking aligned action. By the way, though, in case, we have not met before, what qualifies me to teach this, right? Very, very shortly and briefly. For many years, I have worked with companies, individuals, helping them be more efficient and more productive. And for years and years, I have strived for financial freedom and wanted to make sure that I can be location free. I can travel with my kids wherever I want, and I can do it on my own terms with whoever I want, whenever I want. And all of that brought me to learning so much and, eventually teaching people on building efficient businesses, building passive income businesses, and so on. But what journey that took me on myself personally was the journey of alignment, the journey of vibration, because I tried to do so many things from this, like, it must happen. And in the process, I have exited my relationship. I have moved countries and continents with my kids on a very quick kind of and I have completely changed, up and down in every major area of my life. I've kind of gone full circle. And so seeing and knowing what I know, when I work with people, I see that when things are not working, it's always down to alignment. It's never down to anything else. And then everything else is small tweaks. So I want to show you a scale of vibrations because, talking about kids, they are actually perfect to test your vibration. What I'm really, really, really passionate about is aligning my kids so they can live from this new consciousness, and that many more generations of kids can live from that consciousness that it's not about hustling. It's about living in love, in joy, in peace, in this beautiful state where we get to have fun. And yeah, every now and then everyone steps into fear or grief or anger, but that we don't dwell on it, that we see that as something, oh my God, it's like we could go, oh my God, people used to have washing machines that they had to do things by hand. Wow. You don't dwell there. You don't suddenly have a washing machine that's old, right? You just go, oh, that's what it was. We can also do the same with low vibrations. We can go, oh my God, some people live in anger. Wow, okay, well, I'm so glad I don't. I'm so glad I live in joy. And so my passion really has stemmed from wanting to have a better life for me so my kids can have a better life. And also me realizing that it's not just about giving them the outside better life, but also the inside. That's where it all starts. So vibration is everything. Dr. David Hawkins had created the scale of vibration from the lowest point, alpha point, to omega. And the lowest vibration is scored lowest. Shame is vibrating at about 20. And this is vibrations in your heart. And enlightenment and so much more is 700 and above. There's more than that over there. There's like kind of total inner zen and higher consciousness. And what I wanted to show you here is that, when we're in those low vibrations, we're attracting that. So whatever we're vibrating comes to us quickly. So if we're vibrating shame and guilt feelings, we will see results in that of that in the outside world. If we are vibrating desire, we will see those results, and anger, and so on. If we're vibrating love and joy and peace, we will see the results of that in the outside world. Now, easy to say when you're vibrating guilt and shame to go, well, go to love and you'll be fine, right? Because you're like, okay, thank you. And you start feeling grief. Well, that's higher already. But what I really want to show you is that acceptance is at 350, right? So just remember that, because I want to take you through something here in terms of how do we get from low to high. Because when we're vibrating high, that's when we come up with the ideas. That's when we attract the right people to us. That's when we love ourselves a bit more. That's when we say, actually, I need a nap right now. Or that's when we say, you know what? You don't need to have that chocolate bar. You just need an apple or a glass of water or something. And so all of that is really important. So that scale of vibration to me is one of the key things that I look at every day to make sure that before I start my day or before anything, happens that could trigger dropping down, I vibrate so highly that it's so difficult to get me anywhere that low. But remember this acceptance at 350, okay? So how do you trick the logical mind? Because the minute you break a pattern, that's really what you need to do. Now, what I've noticed in my life is that you never break a pattern by, it's not like you don't want to break the pattern. You know how to do it. It's the fact that the emotion starts to trigger the action so quickly that sometimes we don't know, and then we start spiraling down. Now, okay, the quick shift is to just go and say, yeah, that's where I'm at. So when you start feeling worry or grief or shame or anger, just say, that's where I'm at. I'm angry. Or, well, I feel like crap. I did something that wasn't great, or whatever happens, right? And then you can go, I'm accepting it. And suddenly you're vibrating so much higher. Try this now. Try thinking about something that's really like, I don't know, really like not happened for you, like an area of life where you really struggle to make something happen. And just think about that problem area and just be in acceptance of where you are. But with love. Don't be in acceptance with, oh, well, this is because I'm this. This is where I'm at. Many people are in that place right now. And many people are in that place. They can see this and they know that something is going to happen. Something soon will happen that will get me to a better place in this area, right? And just by doing that, your vibration's already higher because you can see that there is a solution. You might not know it and not see it yet. And so often we think we vibrate low because we think there's no solution, because our logical mind can't come up with it. So the way to trick it is to accept. When you accept, logical mind says, oh, I can't hold on to anything else now, so I'm going to have to let her or him go into a higher vibration. The second thing I love, and I learned that from Abraham Hicks, is the 4 quadrants. So think about something that happened that was really low vibration. For example, you're driving your car and suddenly someone bumps into you. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to wait now, and I'm late there, and I'm rushing there, and it's going to be something, or I borrowed this from my, my partner or my friend, and now I'm going to have to, all this mess, right? Okay, well, you're low right now, my friend. So think about it this way. Go a step up and say, make it smaller, right? So go, this happened. This situation happened. We just described it. Okay, well, I don't like when random people bump into me, or I bump into random people, or I don't like when things don't go to my plan. That's what it is, right? And so do you feel better? When you feel better, you take it a step up. If you don't, you stay in this place, you talk to yourself in this way until you feel better and you can go to the next step. The next step is, what I like is when my ride goes smoothly, when I get from A to B and things go as I planned, and I've got a smile on my face and I have my water in my hand, and the sun is shining and this and that, right? You're feeling a step up. If that feels good, keep going further. If it doesn't, stay here and then just kind of work on that. If it does, go, oh, what I really love is this situation resolving very quickly and so well that I forget and laugh about it. And if you feel good, if that feels good, that you can go to specific and positive. So you went from specific negative to broad general negative to broad general positive to very specific higher vibration positive. And so wherever you are, stay where the energy feels aligned, like where you feel like, yes, I believe this. If you don't, just stay at the level down until you vibrate higher. And what this does very, very quickly is shifts your vibration, because you're no longer focusing on the problem. You're seeing that, again, you're accepting, but from a different direction. You're saying, I don't like when this happens. Yes, you don't like it, right? So there we go. And what I want to tell you here also is, depending on your learning style, you also might want to really check out what your learning style is. And I mean, we have 5 senses and we generally learn using those. So top 3 are visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, where it's movement. But we also have olfactory and gustatory. So olfactory is your smell, and gustatory is your taste. So for example, I was getting ready for this call today and I was dancing. I went on my friend's call before. She was also aligning with something, and I went on her call and I was just dancing and flowing. That was my kinesthetic moving. I saw something amazing because I was watching what she had to show, and I listened to some amazing alignment stuff. And I brushed my teeth beforehand because I had this beautiful, tasty, delicious Indian meal for my lunch. And I brushed my teeth because I thought, as much as it tastes so lovely, what I really need is to feel this minty, fresh taste, right? And then I sprayed myself with a beautiful perfume. So I actually used all of that. But we can do this in every instance. But think about your learning style, because if you're more visual, you're going to visualize what I just told you. If you're more auditory, you're going to tell yourself that. If you're more kinesthetic, you might actually write it out, or you might walk it out, or you might jump it out, right? And you might want to, put a scented candle on that makes you feel calmer. If you're going to go with the sense of smell, or maybe you're going to, drink a nice big glass of water, and that's going to change your taste. What I'm saying is that your learning style will actually impact the ability and the speed at which you align with yourself and with your higher vibration. And when you accept, that's also when you stop going, oh, but I'm not in a high vibration. I'm not in a high vibration right now. Okay, that's me. That's where I'm at now. And you stop being upset. So the other thing that I love, because many people think that, okay, that's it. And then they come across all those problems that they see, that they go, oh, my friend's doing it like this, and I can't do it like this. They seem, we go to those coaches, those mentors, all those people who have a way of doing things, and not everything works for us, right? And sometimes we just go, how is this possible? So the fine-tuning trick that I found super helpful was my human design. And I'm not sure how much you know about human design. I'm going to run another masterclass specifically on this. But an alignment club will actually, I do a lot of teaching about human design in there too. Now, your type, strategy, and authority is about 30%. So whether you're a generator, a projector, a manifestor, and so on, which is the type that you are, how your energy reacts, how your energy behaves. Do you have infinite energy? Do you need to rest a bit more? Do you are you more open to other people's energy, or do you have your own, you generate and you actually impact people's energy? That's about 30% of everything. Human design also tells you how you should come and meet the world. Do you create and initiate things? Do you respond to needs that are out there, or do you wait for invitation? Do you go about your thing and wait for someone to invite your energy in? Human design also tells you about your energy leaks. So, there's this, there we go. All this stuff here in your human design chart, if you haven't seen it yet, all these numbers signify very important things. So, for example, what are the life lessons that you're going through? And sometimes just knowing those will go, okay, I'm accepting that. I'm not putting pressure on myself anymore about these. And the minute you stop putting pressure on yourself, those things just ease off, right? Your energy leaks. So some of these gates will tell you in which places your energy leaks the most and where you should protect it the most. Now, to me, that's super important. And when I learned that, it was like, oh my God, I stopped people pleasing. I stopped, kind of caring what others think. And I started attracting more people who are aligned and who love my energy. And those who don't, they just fell off. But actually, I didn't love their energy either. So thank you. Your unique selling point, right? So for example, why do people who you work with or do business with come to you? What is it in your energy that attracts them to you? Because when you know that, you stop trying to give people all the other stuff and you go, oh, this is my alignment, right? These different shapes that are on this chart here, the triangles and the squares, they're the different centers that are aligned with chakras. And whether they're colored in or left white, that also tells you how much of other people's energy do you take in all different areas of life and how that impacts who you are and how you behave. Because that also tells you where you should protect yourself and where you should seek to work in partnerships with other people. So that's also important. For me, learning that I'm a projector, for example, that I have a lot of open centers, that means that I'm taking other people's energy. I can really intuitively read what they say. Some of my clients go, oh my God, it's like you're reading my mind. And I'm like, okay. But what it does is it helps, because sometimes they can't express it. And I say something to them, they go, oh yes, and it clicks and they get this clarity, right? So when I started using this, I stopped trying to help people with a million things. I went, this is the main thing that they need the help with. And then some other things, they're all the 2 millimeter shift. And if it's bigger, then they probably need to move on somewhere else. But I was able to direct them really easily, right? And so to me, that was beautiful, and it was very, very powerful. So when I work with my clients during our soul decoding sessions, I help them figure out exactly who they are, what is their unique design, and how do they go about the different areas of life that they want to succeed in, and any of the blocks that they're overcoming, trying to overcome any challenges. And then they click into clarity and everything's like straight, locked in, and it's brilliant. So I would definitely look at that as well. And in the alignment club, we will be doing alignment of energy. So it will be about shifting all the time to higher states, so that eventually you don't drop down to these lower states. You're like, what's anger? I don't get it. And you'll also attract people around you to not act in those ways. And then the second thing that I'll be talking about a lot and referring to will be stuff from human design, because to me it was a massive game changer, having done everything within Tony Robbins' work, Bob Proctor's work, Abraham Hicks, Dean Graziosi, stuff like so much in business and in personal development. This was really something that combined it all. It's not that it replaces it, but it's a really powerful It's like you put 3D glasses on a movie that is in 3D and you go, wow, now I can see everything. That makes sense. So to go back to this, let me just drink a sip of my tea. The magic formula for alignment is your vibration and your blueprint. Because when you're aligned with yourself, with who you are, who you were born to be, that is not putting, things like you will never do this or you will, no, it's not about that. It's about how do you go about achieving your goal through your own lens and your blueprint. So that's your blueprint and aligning, upping your vibration. That's alignment. That to me is alignment. So that's what the club will be about. Now, the Alignment Club starts next week on Thursday. It's a space for those ready to live with joy, elevate their life, and thrive. And that's basically what we want. We don't want any fluffy sadness. We want to bring this up so that all of these things happen in alignment, so that you're on the way, you're living with joy, you're creating, and you're stepping up in all areas of life. But it just feels easy. It feels so peaceful. You wake up in the morning and you can't wait to do it. You don't have to set your mind to it. So what is this about? In the club, we will meet once a week live on a call, as well as have access to a private community space. So once a week we meet and there will be some teaching and sharing, and there will just be alignment practices. So what that means is that just by being together, we will raise our vibration, and the mind that created a problem will come up with a solution, because the solution will be from a higher vibration. So it's not about masterminding, this is my problem. It's about stepping up into a vibration that problem stops existing. That doesn't mean that we won't be looking at some cases individually, because sometimes people can really bring up the same stuff. So we will have hot seat opportunities as well, so that people can, raise their hand and we can help a couple of people in a group setting. Anyone who joins obviously has replays of group calls, because sometimes you might not be able to turn up, but that replay still kind of helps your vibration. You can listen to that anywhere, in the car, on the walk, or whatever. And what I really want to do is create this community vibe, so you can share, engage, connect anytime to others, and directly interact with everyone. And that's why I've also created a Discord channel. Discord is an app, if you haven't heard of it before, that has channels with very specific topics. So I don't know if you can see this in my, there we go, I can do this. So we will have a general chat where anyone can talk about anything. High vibe lounge. So think about like anything high vibing that you want to share. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on. We'll talk about alignment practices. So different specific alignment practices that we can use. I'll share any tips and tools, and also any outside things that I use too. We will have this check-in and support space where people can ask questions. They can request hot seats if they're not there at the time, for example. We will celebrate wins and progress, and we will have recordings of all the calls and any other resources that I pop on during the calls. Anytime that we want to hang out together as a group, we'll also have a lounge. We can call each other and talk. It's definitely going to be high vibing. Starts Thursday next week, and the time is the same as the time of this call. So it works for most time zones. It's just about aligning with what works and when. Now, the membership is a sliding scale. So it starts at $55. I'm suggesting a contribution of $111, but it starts anywhere, and you can basically choose your monthly membership as low as $55 if that's what you feel like. Everyone will receive the same support. I wanted to make it available to everyone so that people don't feel like they're missing out because maybe they're not able to invest in something higher up. So that's really what I'm doing here. And if this feels like that's what you want to do, if this feels aligned, then the QR code here is for you to scan, so you can go and purchase your membership, and then we can see each other next week. So I will be doing the calls every week, whether it's just me, whether it's 100 people, whether it's 2 people, whatever that is, because the vibration moves on. Because I created here, it doesn't mean that someone beforehand hasn't created a need for that vibration that then they get when they watch the recording, right? So we will always do it. If for whatever reason you can't be there live, then you get to watch it. So that's what I've got for you. If there are any questions, I'm going to pop this back out and see if there are any questions. And if not, then I can't wait to see you in the Alignment Club if this is calling you. Please don't join if it's not, but please do if it is.